Hello, welcome back to Soul Creative. This is Sarah. I'm here to share these tag flip up journaling spots, and then I made some out of what I thought they were tickets, but here they're specimen cards. So we're gonna make some out of those as well. Well, I'm gonna show you one out of the tag and one out of the specimen card. So what I did is I just took the tags, I printed them out on matte photo paper. Just it's kind of like your regular printer paper, but it's matte photo paper, and it's a little bit thicker than regular printer paper, and the image comes out a lot nicer. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. I printed this out on regular paper because uh, I didn't just print this out. Print this out a while ago. So yeah, this is just on regular photo paper. So this is printed out on regular photo paper, and the kit I used was Notebook and Botanist. So I don't know if you can see that. My shape's really bad, so. But yeah, that is the kit that I used, but I just used the tags and the specimen cards. So what I did is I printed those out, and then I laid them on, this is what we're going to do next. I laid them on a sheet of Bookpage, and I glued them down. And then I cut them out, but then I cut them like a tag shape. So let me open one up. I'll just open this one up. So I cut it like a tag shape. So when I laid it down, then I folded it together and then I cut it. And then I put washi tape. This is fabric washi tape. I put that on, and then I still wanted it to look like a tag. So I cut it like a tag. And then in the inside, I did double it up on the inside. And once I did that, you can really get away with just doing one. It made it really thick because this fabric washi from Tim Holtz is really thick. Now, I do have his older washi, and it's a fabric, and it's not nearly as heavy as this one. So, I kind of like his old one better, but I do like this. It would be great for different techniques. Just in this situation, I'm not too keen with it, but it'll work. And I worked with it, so. But I just used a regular paper clip on this one to hold it shut. So you can make it with just the technique, and I lined the inside with some journaling spot. And yeah, so you can make it, you don't have to have anything else other than if you want to buy the digital, then get the digital and then align it with. I mean, you don't have to put it on Bookpage. You can put it on coffee dye paper, and that will take out a huge step because that's all you got. Then leave a little bit of space, about an eighth of an inch at the top when you go to lay them down, and you want to lay them down opposite of each other. So when you fold them down, then they're upright. And then you just put some washi tape on the top, ink around it if you like, optional, and put a paper clip on it, and there you go. You have a flip up tag journaling spot. Now, what I did was this is a closure, the same closure, and then this one, these two are the same, and then this one is different. So this one right here, I will do last. So this one is a double circle, and I didn't have to go this long on it, but you just lift up the tab, and then it'll lift up. You get in there, and then you close it, and then you can wrap it right back and close it around. But anyway, so that's how this one works. Now, I used brads on this one to show that you don't have to have an eyelet. Especially if you don't have an eyelet setter, you don't have to have an eyelet. You can use tiny brads to make it shut just like you would with magnets. Because I did use magnets as well. So that one's how that one works. Then I just added one. This one's using an eyelet. And you lift it up. And I put a butterfly on the back because the way I attached this one is I put the string on the back. And then that's how I attached this one. Then this one, instead of putting it on the back, I just tied it to the front circle. And then I just wrapped it up around. And then this one lifts up. And you have your journaling spot inside. And then you just close it. And then I just come up at the top, wrapped it around, come around, and then wrapped it around again. And that's how that one works. And then I do have an eyelet on the side. That's optional. Then I hung a button and a bead. Then these ones are magnetic. And these are the first ones I come up with because I got the idea. I made these a while back. I put a tab punch, and the tab is punched out a book page. And then I had these little butterflies, and I put a magnet in between them. And all this is lightweight cardstock. I printed on, and then the tab lifts up. This folds down. I just used vintage tape to hold it together. You could double it if you wanted to. This was just like a quick little thing that I did. And then the butterfly holds it shut. Now that's a thin layer, so it worked out great. But there's an eyelet up here, and I just have some sari silk on it. So this was my original idea. So then when I come up with this one, I was like, oh, I want that same butterfly on there. So what I did first was, I'm going to show you this one because I used an eyelet on the butterfly. Now mind you, this is a little tedious because I used my crocodile and I used the little hole. And you really got to pay attention how you put the eyelet on and how you punch the hole. Because it's really small right there. And it is kind of tedious. So, that's what I did. Is I put the eyelet on the butterfly. It has a magnet in it. But I wanted to have a string on it. Because I didn't want the butterfly to get lost. Just in case. Especially it going into a pocket or a journal. I just didn't want to get lost. So, the string's on there attached with another butterfly, and I made the string at the top look like the butterfly's antennas, and then it has some bling up there. I used the washi tape up at the top. All you do is you lift up the tab, and then you lift it up, your journaling spot's inside, and then you shut it, and then the butterfly closes it. I hung a bead from the side with an eyelet. So that's that version. Then this one, I wanted to do the same thing with a magnet, in case you did have magnets, but you didn't have an eyelet setter or punch. And so what I did is I used a brad, and I tied around the string around it, tied it off, and then you open it up, and then there's your journaling spot. So you can still do it even if you don't have an eyelet. With the magnet, and then I took the string up, I circled it around to give me two antennas up here. That's what I'm calling them because I really like how that looks. I think it looks cute. I don't know if you can see that, but it's so cute. And then I did use an eyelet on the side here, and I hung a charm from it. And then the last option is if you don't, and this is, I do have an eyelet on here, it's optional. But you can take a tab, any tab will work. I just happen to use the Stampin' Up tab. But I use the circle. It's like a 1 1/4 inch circle. I have 2 butterfly punches, so I punched those out. I layered them on top of each other. I did sew them onto the circle. You can glue them on. You don't have to sew it. And then I glued down the circle, and then you open it up. And I made this one kind of into like a little. I sewed this notebook on, and it's just made out of vellum. Inked it up. You have your journaling spot in the back, on the top, and then I just sewed this in, and you just have a little extra journaling spot. And since I used the circle closure, that's probably the only one that I would do that with. I don't know if I would necessarily do it with the other ones. Maybe the ones that have the string on it would work, but the magnetic ones, I don't think the magnet would hold it. It's not. It's a small magnet. It's not meant to go through multiple layers, so I would probably stick to, if you want to do the notebook, the string closure one or the one with the circle. So I wanted to give options so you could make these if you'd like, and whatever style you wanted and whatever supplies you had on hand, you can make them. And I did make several different ones. This is another circle punch one with a charm. This one is a magnet. And then this one is another one with the circle string closure. This one's with a magnet. And then this one is also with a magnet. And it's kind of a combination of the way I did. And then this one has a little tuck on here as well. But this is a combination of the circle and the magnet. So that's also an option too if you want to do that one. But this one's just a little different option, but it works. I like it. And I did make homemade washi up at the top using a stamp and some fabric and some score tape. So yeah, those are our options, and I'm going to show you how to make 2 of them. Hopefully that makes sense and that wasn't too long to explain. My apologies if so. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use my paper cutter just to cut these out. I already glued them down. The only difference that I did on these ones is I made these ones to actually look like specimen cards. I used the butterfly. Now you can keep this to make a pocket or make extra journaling spot, and I think I'm going to do that, so I can show you how to do it. If not, you can cut it off. So let me just score at the bottom here. That just helps bring that up to where I need it. And I'm going to bring you guys in just a little bit more, that way You can see what I'm doing. I will try to remember to stay in frame. I'm horrible about that. Okay. So this one, what we're going to do is we're going to fold it down to meet the bottom. And then we're going to cut the corners. And I even cut the corners up here, but I leave about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so we got that, and it's gonna look like this. I accidentally put this on wrong. I put the butterfly, glued it to where it was upside down. It's not gonna matter much because I'm gonna be covering that up. And I'm gonna use some washi tape. So I'm gonna just put this right in the middle. And this is Tim Holtz washi. I'll show you what it looks like. Comes in a roll like this. Alright, so then what we're gonna do on here is we might have some left over. So we're just gonna cut the very corner of that. The very corner of that. Not much, but you don't want it hanging off of there. Okay, so I'm gonna take some ink. This is optional, using Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. So to make the specimen part, all I did was, I have these labels. They're just clear stickers that you can get for like packaging and that. And I took 2 of them. I inked up the butterfly. Well, I punched the butterfly out, inked it up, and then I put it between the 2 of these labels. I'll have them linked in my Amazon list. But I inked those up, put them between the 2, and then I glued it. I cut a circle out with a 1 1/4 inch circle punch. I found the center of the middle of this specimen card, and I punched that out, and then I glued it on, and then I put the book page over top. You know, I glued it onto the book page. So that's how I did that. And I wasn't thinking when I did it, I should have just did it on camera, but I knew that these were going to be long, so I tried prepping as much as I could, but I kind of thought that this video was going to be a little bit longer just to show you what I do. And the explanation of it, it's not just something, it is simple, but explaining what I did is kind of a little bit more, kind of a little more complicated than it looks. Not much, but so I'm just gonna tear the bottom of this page here. Now ink that up. Okay, so then I got this little kit that I put together. Sorry for the glare. And it has everything that we need to get ready. Got a little journaling spot there. This one will go there. Might have to tear a little bit more off of this one. Can use a tear roller or just tear it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ink the edges because I didn't do that. Just real quick. I'm not worried about it too much. Just oh my goodness. I need to try to quit rushing because I think when you rush, it makes it worse. So, okay. Just put a little bit of art glitter glue around here. Don't really need much. Just enough to lay it down. It's thin paper, so just a little bit of adhesive will work. And you don't want to put buttons on it anyway, because it's really thin paper. You'll see all the bubbles on it if you do. And that's why I'm only doing the edges, because you'll see where you put the glue if you do the inside of it. Okay, so then the front here, really kind of don't want to cover up that number. I think it kind of looks pretty, kind of neat right there. There we go. I think I inked the wrong side though. Or the other side. I didn't know which side I was going to use. Okay, so we'll glue around this edge. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then what we're gonna do, probably do the magnet one. Now this one I already got ready. What I do is I need to get my little magnets. That's one thing I forgot to get. So I just put mine in this little plastic tray. And I don't even remember where I got these ones from. It's been so long. This is what the little magnet looks like. It's super tiny. And I glued one to the back here, and then I put some packing tape paper or painter's tape paper over it. You can put just any piece of paper over it just to seal it in there. And then what we're going to do is put it on here where we're going to put it. So say we're going to put it right here. Okay, so that will hold it down for us. And then we'll take our, I inked up our butterflies. So you take 2 butterfly punches. I have this one, and this one is from Hobby Lobby, and then this one is from Stampin' Up. So the one I used was from Stampin' Up, but they do make one from Hobby Lobby, and the magnet will go inside there. So I'm just gonna glue, put a dot down, and then put my magnet down, glue all inside here. And then put my other butterfly on top. And we're gonna sandwich that together. I'm gonna figure out, okay, it goes on that way. So what we want to do is we want to take our crocodile, and we're gonna punch a hole in the wing part. You can wait a minute. I should have probably waited a little bit longer because of the glue. Then I'm going to take an eyelet. There we go. Alright, so once we get it in there, I'm going to take my other eyelet setter. This one has the small one on it. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do this off of camera. I don't have the strength to do it on camera. Sorry. I apologize. We're going to take our, I think I'm going to take gray string this time. Take some gray string. And what I do is I go up. And then I tie it off down here. Put our butterfly on there. First off, we're going to glue this down. So take some glue. I'm just going to put it on the front part of this. Depending on where we want it. Put it down. Okay, then put our butterfly down, and I'll probably bring it over here. So I'm going to tie it off again. Maybe I should just put it up above. And we're going to take our other butterfly, and we're going to glue it on the top here. Okay, so then we got that down, and that's almost finished. I'm just going to put a little bit of bling in the middle there. So that's what we got. And then you can hang a charm from the eyelet. If you want. I got this one ready to go. Put my charm on here. Just gonna put a butterfly. These eyelets are really, or these jump rings are nice because you can move them with your hand. And then these things are like little jump rings that have hinges on them. I seen them on two silver oranges by Jessica's channel. She was showing them off, and they were such a great idea. So I got me some, and you just clip them on because you can clip it on and clip it off. So it's really nice if you don't want the charm on there. I'm gonna have to put that on a different way because my butterfly is not hanging the way I want. It still isn't. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's the one option that we got. I'm going to show you the other option. Now, the one other option is when I will show you how to make the butterfly with the brad. So let me show you that real quick because that is important. Because if you don't have you make sure when I make this one, I think I'm gonna show you how to do the circle closure on this one. So just want to make sure. Yeah, I don't need the butterfly. So when we make the brad one, you make it the same way. We're just gonna glue these two together. But before we do that, we're gonna put them together. And I'm gonna use my little cork circle thing here. I'm gonna try to keep it together. I'm gonna take my awl and we're gonna put a punch up here because you don't want it too big. And I actually should have just went through one. So now you're going to see a hole. So then, find our brad. I just use these little tiny ones. Put our brad in there. Pull it out. I'm going to open it up. So don't punch through both of them, just punch through the one. And then we're going to glue these two together. And those cork circles are just coasters. I just glued two of them together to give me a surface that I can punch on. And I wish I had a couple bigger ones because I would use it for when I do my journals. Okay, so that's how you do that one. And then you just take a string. This just happens to be American Crafts. It's Twine. And I got a whole bunch of them, like, in a pack, different colors, a while ago. I don't know if I can find it on Amazon again or not. If I can, I will show you. So I just wanted to kind of lift that up a little bit. And then put our string underneath it. And it is tedious. Then we're going to tie this off. And then just cut the excess off. And then that's how you would use it. Now, one thing I did forget, and I don't know if it'll work because it's not going to be strong enough, is I didn't put a magnet in there. I mean, it'll hold on to the magnet, but it ain't going to hold the page down. So, before you glue it shut, make sure you put a magnet in there. Oh my goodness, I'm not thinking. My apologies. But yeah, you want to put a magnet in there, but that's how you do the brad version. And we're going to do the circle version on the tag over here. I'm going to get my circles ready. And I'm going to use some of this. And I'll get me this one. I need actually, I'll just use this one. Get my brand. Okay, so on this one, we need to get my pokey tool out again. So we're gonna pull this back a little bit, because this is just a punch tab. Let me back that out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So you take your punch tab, then you punch your hole, you put your eyelet in it, and then that's where we're at right now. So then you'll pull it back, because I didn't glue this at all. Pull that back, and we're gonna sandwich this down a little bit, like this. And we're gonna take, our circles are already glued together. So you take 2 circles, this is a 3/4 inch punch. This is what it looks like. This one's from Hobby Lobby. And I also have this one, and it's a EK Success. This one came with the buttonholes to make buttons. So I originally had this one first, but then I didn't know it was the same size, and I ended up getting a 3. No, this is a 1/2 inch. So this is a 1/2 inch punch, because this one right here is a 3/4 inch punch, and it's a little bit bigger. So you want the 1/2 inch punch. To make this project, I think 3/4 is probably going to be too big. So we're going to hold this on top of here, and we're going to punch a hole. Right here. Then we're going to take our brad, put our brad in there, pop it up, and open it up, smash it down a little bit. So then we're going to take some glue, and I'm going to take a piece of washi, fabric washi. I'm going to place it over top of that. Take it off of here. Now secure it down. If you don't have fabric washi, you can take and glue it, put a piece of paper over top of it, or a piece of fabric, like a piece of muslin or cotton fabric. Alright, hopefully this is making sense. So then we're going to take our string, put it up underneath here. Tie this one off. Cut the excess off. Alright, so then this is ready to go. We're going to take our tag, we're going to fold it. Let me cut this end off of this. fold this in half. I'm going to cut the top off. Just 1/4 of an inch, or 1/8 of an inch leave. Then I'm going to take my homemade washi. I have one over here. All you do is you take a strip of muslin or cotton fabric, like this. You cut it to the size that you need. And you want to take, I have 1/2 inch score tape or double-sided tape. Doesn't have to be score tape. You can use scrapbook.com tape. You can use the tape that you can get off of Amazon. So you lay that down, and on 1 inch, 2 of the washi tape will work, of the 1/2 inch. And then you smooth that out. Then you're going to want to take a stamp and stamp on it. So you'll stamp an image on it, and that's what I did. Is I took a bee and I stamped it that way and that way. And I'm going to peel off one side of it. And this is the tricky part because it's on fabric, so fabric is very moldable. I don't know if that's the word. It's pliable, so it moves on you. So you want to make sure you varnish it down really good. And try to get the corner. And then I'm going to lay it about in the center here. Lay that side down. Then on this side, try to get the other one off. And if you can't get it with your hands, you can use an awl or something pointy to help you remove that backing. Sometimes your fingernails will just want to get the whole thing. And smooth that down, and that's your homemade washi. Well, what I consider homemade washi, I don't know. I know it's not my idea by all means. I was like, you know what? I had some strips laying here. I was like, I'll make some washi. I've seen people make it with carpet tape. Gail's made it with carpet tape. I know Nazi's made it. Amity Bloom. She sold it before. I got a pack of it one time. I really liked it. Okay, so then split it in half. I want to make it look like a tab. So yes, I did cut into the fabric, but it looks cute anyway. So then we're going to take, I'm going to ink up. When you lay it down onto your book page, I always, if you don't ink the whole way around it, just ink the very top of your tag or the project. That way, because you're leaving this end together, so you can't get in there and ink it. So if you want to ink it, make sure you do that before you do before you lay it down. And I just used the one piece of fabric. It'll hold it very well, especially with using the score tape. I think it'll be fine. Alright, I'm going to do this as my front. So what we want to do is we want to figure out where we're going to put the tab. Thinking I'm going to put it down here. Excuse me. So that means I'm going to put this one up here. So this one's already doubled up, inked up, and glued together. It's 2 circles. And we're going to find the center. I'm going to punch a hole in it. And then we're going to take our other brad, push it in there, open it up. Push it down, make sure it's secure down there. Okay, so then we're going to open that up. And then we're going to take our journal spots. And I didn't make those ones long enough. Here we go. This one is. So we'll take this one. And I'm gonna where I'm gonna put it. Gonna ink around it. Then I'm gonna punch a hole in the middle of this one. And there we go. So the reason why I wanted to put it right there and have that cardstock, because I don't want the cardstock pulling through. I know it's just a tiny project, but just better be safe than sorry. So then I'm gonna glue underneath that to secure it down. And then go along the edge here. Since I inked on top of it, kind of know where it goes. glue that down. And I think I have another circle here that can just put over top. Okay. Still gonna get another piece of journaling spot. I don't really need to put one here, but yeah, well. Oh my goodness. Alright, there we go. Now we're gonna take and I'm gonna glue one side of this. And then you're gonna take your string, wrap it around, and then I'm gonna take a charm. And then we're gonna tie this charm off. And there we go. This is this one. And then here's this one. And then I showed you all the other ones over here. The one with the circle punch is the tab is glued on the bottom, and then you just make sure that when you open and close that you can still get it up underneath your circle punch. So you don't want to glue up too far, and you want to keep your circle punch down. That's another option as well. I was going to show you that option, but I showed you the magnetic one. I thought that one was more important, but if you want to see this closure, I will do that for you guys. So let me know what you guys think. Of course, I'm out of frame. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will be back with another video. And until then, I will see you when I see ya. Later.